Oh, let me guess. You're that enlightened soul always waiting for the perfect moment, like a telenovela protagonist, seeking permission just to breathe near someone you're interested in. Meanwhile, the scoundrel? He's already sent a "Hey stranger," grabbed what he wanted, and moved on to the next level of the game. There you are, stuck in deep contemplation. Should I? Is this the right time? Spoiler alert. While you're pondering, the world keeps spinning, and he's already on lap 3. And you know what's funniest? His lack of ceremony is exactly what keeps him ahead, while you, my friend, are sitting on the bench holding the reserve sign. No, the problem isn't the world being cruel to you. It's you insisting on playing by rules that only exist in your head. Today, I'm going to teach you how to break free from this extra role, stop being the last option, and finally join the game. No, you won't need to become a scoundrel, but you will learn a thing or two from him because clearly he's figured out something you haven't yet grasped. So, get ready. What I'm about to share could completely change your perspective on relationships and hopefully even life itself. But first, let's agree on one thing. This video is only here because someone smarter than you hit like, subscribed, and kept the content alive. Now it's your turn to do the basics. Like, subscribe, and drop a thank you in the comments, not for me, but for the notorious algorithm that decides if more people will see this reality check you're about to receive. No fluff. Let's get straight to the point because patience is not something we cultivate here. Number 1, stop asking permission to like someone. Oh, look at you, treating liking someone like it's a bureaucratic process. You need forms, notarized signatures, and you're still waiting for the perfect moment. Meanwhile, the scoundrel always him has already decided he likes someone, threw in his charm, and is reaping the rewards. He doesn't give a damn about some invisible etiquette manual or celestial signs. What's his secret? Simple. He understands that liking someone doesn't require anyone's permission. He's not wasting brain power thinking, does this person like me too? Or, what if I get rejected? Because in his mind, a no is just a part of life, not a death sentence. Liberating, right? Now do yourself a favor and remember that time you liked someone and froze, waiting for the planets to align. Remember? While you hesitated, someone faster, whether more courageous or just less patient, took the spot that could have been yours. Painful, I know. The problem is you grew up thinking that liking someone is a delicate choreography, like ballet. Let me tell you a secret. It's not. I'm not saying you should go around being an emotional jerk, but showing interest is not a crime. It's basic, my friend. Here's a practical tip. Next time someone catches your eye, be direct. I find you interesting, and I'd like to get to know you better. No beating around the bush, no cheesy lines, no dead fish eyes. People with attitude are attractive. Those who hide behind hints only achieve one thing, being forgotten. And here's a bitter truth. No one is waiting for your grand divine signal. If you don't make a move, no one will even notice you exist. Liking someone is your decision. It doesn't need a committee's approval. Still can't swallow that? Think about the scoundrel. For him, a no is just a comma in the story of life, not a full stop. That's why he's always in control while you're stuck in spectator mode. How about stopping watching and joining the game? Number 2, ditch the rule of always being the nice guy. Let's agree on one thing. Being the nice guy is basically the ticket to being ignored, used, and pushed aside. While you're there bending over backward to please everyone, accepting everything with open arms, and saying yes even when your body screams no, the scoundrel is playing a completely different game. He throws a no without mercy, takes care of his own business, and surprise. That's exactly why everyone respects him. Why is being the nice guy a problem? Because it's predictable, boring, uninteresting. No one values what's too easy, and the nice guy is the epitome of easy. Always available, always willing to give in, always the person others come to when they want something, never for who he truly is. This screams insecurity, and insecurity is the biggest turnoff of all. Meanwhile, the scoundrel, he understands that boundaries aren't barriers but filters. He's not afraid to disappoint. I don't want to. I can't. I'm not going to. Simple phrases that keep him from being sucked in by those who just want to take advantage. And you know what happens? Not only does he avoid becoming a doormat, but he also becomes more interesting. Because people who prioritize themselves have one thing that nice guys never do: respect. Now, before you start freaking out thinking I'm suggesting you become insensitive, breathe. The difference between setting boundaries and being rude is simple: authenticity. Saying no isn't a cruel act. It's a reminder that you're human and your desires matter. Look back in your memory. How many times have you said yes just to avoid conflict, even hating every second of it? That commitment that drained you, that favor that screwed you over, or that relationship where you gave everything and got crumbs in return. And you know what happened? Did someone genuinely thank you? Did they value your sacrifice? Nope. Right? Because that's what happens. People get used to your kindness and start treating it as an obligation. And when you decide to change and start saying no, they give you strange looks. You've changed. And you know what else? Good for them for changing their view of you. It means you finally started valuing yourself. So here's a challenge. Next time someone asks you for something that doesn't make sense or that you don't want, say no. That's it. No need to justify. No need to beat around the bush. A simple "I can't" does the trick. And if someone complains, too bad. Your priority is you, and those who truly care will understand. And remember, the scoundrel isn't respected because he's a jerk, but because he knows the value of being less available. He balances yes and no, and that's what you need to learn. When you stop trying to please everyone, the magic happens. You discover who truly likes you, not for what you can do for them. Now, be honest. Do you want to keep being the person everyone steps on because they know you'll give in? Or do you want to be someone they respect because they understand your worth? The choice is entirely yours. And if you're tired of being the nice guy everyone steps on, saying yes to everything, and ending up ignored or used without any consideration, then it's time to wake up. Stop being the person everyone manipulates while you try to please the whole world. Head to the description now and grab the digital book I left for you. With it, you'll learn how to set boundaries, truly value yourself, and make people respect you like never before. Put an end to this cycle of always being the doormat. The change starts now. Number 3. Don't seek everyone's approval for your choices. Oh, here we go again. You, the grand maestro of insecurity, orchestrating life with one goal to please everyone. You're always there, waiting for someone to pat you on the back and say, "Congrats, you're on the right track." Meanwhile, guess what? The scoundrel has already made his decision, taken action, and is moving forward because he doesn't have time for an audience. Want to know his trick? He grasped the obvious. There will never be unanimous agreement on your choices. There will always be that annoying critic, that jealous person who snubs you, and that know-it-all who thinks they understand your life better than you do. And what does he do about it? Nothing. He keeps dancing because at the end of the day, he's the one who will face the consequences of his choices, not the bench warmers in the stands. Now, let's get serious. Why do you have this pathetic need for approval? Is it the fear of making mistakes or not pleasing others? Maybe a bit of both. But let me be brutally honest. Living to please others is like running on a treadmill. You sweat, you tire, but you never get anywhere. Think about your love life. How many times have you held back from following your heart because a friend, a cousin, or even the local baker's uncle wouldn't approve? Or worse, and did something that made sense to you just because it didn't make sense to them. Meanwhile, the scoundrel is out there dating whoever he wants without asking anyone for permission. He knows that the one who's going to sleep next to him is him, not the armchair critics. And it's not just in love. How many opportunities have you let slip by because you were waiting for external approval? That job that seemed too risky, the course people thought was stupid, or that move to a different city everyone called crazy. While you were waiting for validation, someone smarter was already there, taking the spot that could have been yours. The secret, my friend, is simple. Make decisions without waiting for applause. This doesn't mean ignoring sensible advice, but learning to trust what you want. After all, who's going to deal with the results? Good or bad, it's you, not the armchair critics. Here's a practical tip. Next time you're about to ask for someone's opinion on something, ask yourself, do I really need this? Or do I already know what I want? Spoiler. Most of the time you already know, but you're seeking validation to feel less insecure. Stop it. And when unsolicited opinions come your way, say, thanks, but I know what I'm doing, and move on. Because in the end, no one understands your life better than you do. The truth is harsh, but here it is. The need for approval keeps you stuck. While you worry about what others think, the scoundrel lives with the lightness of someone who owes nothing to anyone. And that's what puts him ahead. So, stop asking permission to live. The only approval that matters is yours. The rest, just noise. So, we've reached the big moment. The raw truth. Is it clear now why you've been lingering on the sidelines while others play the game of life with fire in their eyes? Let's do that bitter recap to make sure you got it. First, the talk about asking permission to like someone. While you're waiting for the universe to conspire in your favor, the scoundrel has already taken the next step. He knows that rejection doesn't hurt as much as paralysis does. Liking someone doesn't need celestial approval. It needs one thing you seem to be forgetting. Attitude. Next, the myth of the nice guy. Oh, the nice guy! The tragic hero who tries so hard to please and ends up playing the rug in the end. While you're there being super friendly, the scoundrel is doing the opposite, prioritizing himself, saying no when necessary, and as a result, being more valued. Because no one respects someone who's always available. Harsh, but it's the truth. Lastly, the golden prison of seeking others' approval. While you seek applause and a pat on the back for every decision you make, the scoundrel has already figured out the game. No one's going to agree with everything, so he just lives. He doesn't need anyone's stamp, and that self-sufficiency is what makes him so irresistible. Now the question that separates those who will change from those who will keep lamenting, what are you going to do with all this? Are you going to stay stuck in fear and indecision? Or are you finally going to toss those useless rules in the trash? No one's asking you to become a full-fledged scoundrel, but learning to face life like he does, that, my friend, is survival. Want some real advice? Choose one rule to break right now. Are you going to stop waiting for the perfect signal to show interest? Are you going to start saying no willingly? Or are you going to ditch that annoying habit of seeking approval to breathe? Choose one, anyone, but choose to act. Because the difference between those who live life and those who just watch it is exactly this: the courage to do things differently. Now, to wrap things up with a golden key, comment below which of these changes will be your next step. Share this reality check with that friend who's always following the rules of mediocrity. And remember, life doesn't have a replay. Either you join the game now, or you stay there, watching from the stands. The choice is entirely yours.